If you create a graphic object on the H1 timeframe at the high price and then switch to the M1 timeframe, the object will no longer be located at the high price. I have a chart on the H1 timeframe, and I prepared a script that creates a graphic object right price label at the high price of the previous hour. I run my script, and we can see that the object was created without errors. We right-click on the object and check its time. It is 10 p.m. So far, everything looks correct. Next, I switch the chart to the LEM1 timeframe. I adjust the visualization a bit. Here is our object, and it is clearly not located at the highest price within the 10 p.m. interval. To see the boundaries of the previous hour, I launch another script. It creates a rectangle and very accurately shows the limits of the previous time. Problem resolution. We need to find the high price and, most importantly, determine the time of this price. This should be done on the M1 timeframe. We will not consider the option of finding the price and time through tick data downloading. Let's start creating a script. A script is a program that runs once and then unloads from memory. Right-click in the folder and select New File. Then choose the program type script. An essential step is to give the program a name. I came up with quite a long name, but it is very informative. Don't forget to add one fake parameter. Great! We have created the skeleton of our program and now we begin to fill it in. Don't hesitate to use the MT5 reference. It will be useful more than once. We need to find an example for obj arrow right price. Copy the main function that creates the graphical object. Insert this example into our code and then return to the lemql5 reference again. We need to copy a small function. Let's use the stylist and try to compile our code. If your code also compiled without errors, congratulations! We begin writing code to retrieve data from the H1 and timeframe. To retrieve historical data from the H1 timeframe, we will use the first form of the CopyRates function, specifying the start position and the data count to copy. The historical data will be copied into the lemqlrate structure. We declare an array to store the historical data. We immediately index the array as a time series. We will copy the historical data starting from start position equals 0, and the array elements will correspond to the bars on our chart. We must declare a variable to store the result of the CopyRates operation. This variable will be useful a bit later. We check the result of copying the requested number of bars. If the result does not match the expected count, it indicates an error, and we generate an alert describing the issue. We create a graphical object. The time and high price are taken from element 1 of the rates H1 array. If an error occurs, we simply exit the program. The error message is generated in the main object creation function. We apply that stylist and compile the code. There are no errors, and now we can test how our code works in the terminal. Make sure the chart in the terminal is set to the H1 timeframe. Locate our code in the Navigator window and attach the script to the chart. Yes! The script works. It created an object on bar 1 at the high price of that bar. Let's check the time specified in the object. We can see that it shows the birth time of bar 1. Let's try with another symbol. Again, we are on the H1 timeframe, and the object was successfully created. But what happens if we switch the chart to the M1 timeframe? We can see that the object has the correct price, but the wrong time. The object should be placed on one of these bars. Copying data from the M1 timeframe using the third form of CopyRates from -start date to -end date. Now we need to copy data from the M1 timeframe, but we will copy from the interval starting at the birth time of bar 1 up to the birth time of bar 0. For this, we will use the third form of the function. We follow a similar algorithm. Declare an array to store data from the M1 timeframe and convert it into a time series. Then we check the result of the copy operation. If we receive fewer than 2 elements, we consider this an error. If such an error occurs, we notify about it. By the way, I found a small issue in my code. After notifying about the error, we must exit the program. I pause the screen for 5 seconds. During this time you can also stop the video to take a closer look at the code. Now the most interesting part. In a loop we go through the data from the M1 timeframe and look for the highest price. If such a price is found, we record the bar's time. Note, we start the loop from element 1. This way we skip the first minute of the H1 timeframe. After finding the time of the bar with the highest price, we create a graphical object. We use the discovered highest price and the bar time at which this price occurred. Let's check this in the terminal. The object has been created, and we can verify what time is specified in its properties. Now let's switch to the M1 timeframe and see that our object is positioned correctly. It uses the proper time. Let's try a few more experiments on different symbols. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for new videos.